can one simple swap to a card like this make such a big difference? Let me show you how. Let's get crafting. Now I really want this design to be bold, so I'm using a large floral, and this one is called Happy Hello Floral. It's from Spellbinders, but it's not necessary. Any floral stamp you have will work. Preferably with some open space to it like this one has. You want the dark color cardstock, whichever color you choose, to peek through that floral. I'm using Versamark clear sticky embossing ink, and I'm going to give it a good firm press. I want an excellent level of coverage here. I did actually remember to use my Pink and Main embossing brush. That works so much better for me. I don't like the feeling of powder on my hands, so the brush works out really well. For ease, I am using my stamp positioning tool, but if you don't have one, you can still do this technique. You just need an acrylic block. And you want to cut your cardstock just slightly larger than your acrylic block. So if you have a square block, cut a square piece of cardstock about the same size, and you'll be able to line up the sides to that piece of cardstock, and you will get it just about right. So it will work. I have set my black cardstock aside, and I'm using a piece of white cardstock now with black ink. You want those bold choices to be opposite one another. So I'm once again remembered my embossing powder. I know you're really proud of me. And I am going to stamp that down. I did not move the stamp. I put the paper in the exact same spot. You need to get this as close to accurate as you can. That one looks pretty good, so we're going to run with it. Now there's always more than one way to do something and get a similar result. Here I'm using black pigment ink and clear embossing powder. But what if you don't have those? And you do have Versamark and black embossing powder. It's going to work pretty much the same. I somewhere misplaced my black embossing powder. I haven't found it. It's been a week. I don't know what I did with it. But so I decided to go this route. And then on my black piece that has Versamark on it, I'm using white embossing powder. Clear is just going to show up clear. You want something that's going to pop, and the white embossing powder will do just that. These are all super fine embossing powders that I'm using. I'm just tapping off any extra embossing powder on my cardstock, and I'm going to put all of that embossing powder back in the jar, and I'm going to put the cover on the jar so I don't have another accident. I have already heat embossed both of my panels. So my white panel with black and my black panel with white, and I am lining them up. Now, these papers aren't exactly the same size, and that's okay, as you can see. I know that I lined them up to the left top corner in my stamp platform. So I'm going to line those same corners up now and use a little bit of low-tack tape to hold them together. So when I cut them, they will cut in precisely the same spot. Now for this one, I'm just going to cut it in half. So I'm using a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch cardstock, and I'm going to cut it at 2 3/4 inches. It doesn't matter where you choose to cut it. It doesn't have to be down the middle. It can be more to the left, more to the right, whatever works for you. You could even choose to cut this horizontally. Really, the sky's the limit when it comes to this technique. Super easy. Now I'm opting to use a piece of white cardstock behind each of my panels. This is going to make 2 cards. So one technique, 2 cards. This gets a lot of wow for your time, and it goes really quickly. So if you don't want to use that extra white layer behind it, no problem. If you're good enough to be able to tape them up and line the 2 up, you can just tape them from the back. That'll work as well. I'm choosing to use my liquid glue, which is my favorite type of glue. This is Bearly Arts Precision Craft Glue. I like it because I get just enough wiggle room if it doesn't line up the first time, and I can still peel it up if I need to. I'm just lining this up to the top left, just like I did when I put the 2 pieces together. and mix and match. I took one from the white and one from the black and married those two together to create one cohesive design. Now, technically, this is considered the split negative technique, and it really works for a lot of different things. So hang to the end because I've got some other options using the same technique with different supplies. Now I'm going to get a little fancy, but you don't have to do this. I am using scrapbook.com's nested wavy rectangle dies, and I love these. They're so super cute. I'm going to line up the larger die on my split cardstock, and I'm going to just hold it down once I've got a good placement for it with some mint tape. Now, I use a SPELLBINDERS Platinum 6 die cutting machine, and I have had lots of people write in and ask me, how do you keep the plates used in a die cutting machine from warping? And there really is no way other than being absolutely dedicated to flipping and rotating your plates every time you die cut. Now that can become annoying. And quite honestly, I didn't like it, so I switched my bottom plate out for a magic mat. Those are sold exclusively through scrapbook.com, and they've been my saving grace. I'm using the exact same top plate that I have used since day one. And I make a lot of cards, y'all. So that's really saying something. Yes, I have had to replace my magic mats from time to time, but I usually wait till they're on sale for like a after Thanksgiving sale. So keep your eyes peeled because that is coming in another week or so. Now, I am opting to use a piece of metallic cardstock for a little bling bling as a layering panel, and we know that metallic cardstock can be a little bit more expensive, so I just chose a smaller rectangle and I'm cutting the center out of that. No one's ever going to be the wiser, and I'm getting to save a little bit extra of the metallic cardstock. I could use it for a layering panel or maybe even a die cut word, who knows, but we'll set it aside for another time. So I'm living life dangerously here because I have decided to go ahead and add my glue to the silver metallic card instead of on the back of the wavy split technique. And well, you do stand the chance of getting a little bit of glue where you don't want it. My experience has shown that as long as I have a wet paper towel handy, if I have any glue seep out from underneath it, which I usually don't, I just wipe it up with a damp paper towel. So there's that little extra bling by that metallic card being on the bottom base. I use Accent Opaque 100-pound cardstock for my card bases. I do make all of them myself, and I buy the really large pack of Accent Opaque. I think it's 17 by 19 maybe. I'd have to look. But I get 4 card panels out of every page. So I've still got tons of it, and it was a lot cheaper that way. So this one's come out beautifully. Let's look at finishing up the second one and adding a sentiment to both. With a bold technique or a bold stamp set, I choose generally to use a small, more petite sentiment. And I'm just going to go ahead and place that down. Well, y'all, it's been a hot minute since I have shown you any of the beautiful cards that some of my subscribers have sent. Now, this card is from Michelle, and she did this beautiful inking technique with this gorgeous embossing folder. And I mean, I don't know where that embossing folder is from. Michelle, if you're listening today, maybe you'll let us know in the comments, but it is stunning. And the blue that you chose, phenomenal. I don't know how you did the silver. I'd love to know, but beautiful card. Thank you so very much. This next one is from Jill, and Jill always matches her envelopes and her stickers on the outside to her card. She's chosen this gorgeous yellow. I love yellow. It's such a happy color. And sunflowers. She even matched the stamp, y'all. I mean, That's talent. I can't get there. But you can see she's also done some on the back. And the inside is absolutely stunning. She used a great lattice technique to create her background, probably using up some of those white scraps. And she did some inking of her sunflowers and added some beautiful gems that highlight the gorgeous brown color in the background. Beautiful as always, Jill. Thank you. And last but certainly not least is this gorgeous card from Nikki, and she matched her envelope with this beautiful purple butterfly with little tidbits of orange in it. And I love that because I think purple and orange are fantastic colors that are not relegated to just Halloween. And she did one of my techniques also, and this is a great way to use up scraps. I will link the video that goes with this up at the top if you're interested to see how she made that. And once again, sunflowers, beautiful. She also used some maybe Nuvo drops or pops of color to get just a little bit of sparkle on the center and some of the elements of that beautiful floral. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you thinking of me. The split negative technique also works great with dies. So I've taken a piece of poinsettia patterned paper and I've used a circular die to cut a circle from the top. I wanted to leave some room at the bottom. And then I split my circle in half, and that's how I'm going to line this one up. But it was really white. So the poinsettias are kind of an off-white, so I opted to use a small dotted pattern in an off-white color behind it. That way it wasn't so bright in your face. But I still need everything to stand out. And hang loose because I'm going to show you how I finish this one up as well. This particular card has more of a vintage nostalgic feel, and a lot of that is governed by what paper is behind my main paper here. But it's a great way to use up scrapbook paper in your card making and leftovers as well. So here's the other card, and I'm opting not to put anything behind it. I'm going to let the white shine through, and I'm going to show you how I tackle that. The sky is absolutely the limit for this type of technique. There are so many ways, and I cannot wait for you to show me your split negative techniques over on my Facebook page at Village Card and Crafts. It's time to check out some finished cards. Now here's our black with white, and I made this also in purple and white. I used white with purple embossing powder and purple card with white embossing powder. Now here is our pattern paper. You'll see that I used some vellum to tone down that white along with some die cut poinsettias, and then some ephemera from Tim Holtz to decorate the other more vintage looking card. Here I used some solid colored cardstock behind pattern paper, and here's another die cut one. This time I did it on an angle, finished up with some beautiful metallic sentiments. Don't go just yet, because I've picked out a couple of videos that I think you're going to love. Until next time, I'll see you real soon.